We'll continue on in here in the Media Center now with a special announcement and special guest. Tony Stewart returns to his home away from home this weekend with much of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series field to Eldora Speedway for the 2010 Gillette Fusion Pro Glide Prelude to the Dream. Couple of the details is this is a pay-per-view event. You do not have to have HBO for this, and it's a live commercial-free broadcast beginning at 7 p.m. But Tony, more about the Prelude this year.
Excited about it. It's obviously something we've enjoyed doing every year. The drivers have been awesome and been very supportive of it, and we're up to that weekend before now. This is the weekend that I start getting nervous and start watching the Weather Channel like there's nothing else on TV to watch. So we're worried about just making sure we get good weather for the week, and excited with the new team aspect this year of having the entire field split up into 4 groups and divided amongst the 4 children's hospital charities that we have on board. And then there'll be an individual winner, but there'll also be a team winner, and that'll determine who gets 45% of the proceeds. The second place team will get 25% of the proceeds, and then the remaining 2 teams will get 15% respectively. You
want to talk a little bit about the team setup and the team concept for this?
Yeah, it was kind of a hard handicapping system. We basically sat down and looked at everybody that had been there and how they had run at the Prelude, and tried to evenly stack the teams up to where they were as even as we could make them to make it as close as possible. So you don't have a bunch of heavy hitters on one team and guys that struggled on another team. We've tried to make that aspect as even as we can, and I think it gives these guys, guys that may not have a shot to win the race and maybe running 6th or 7th, that know they don't have a shot at winning it, at least give them some pride in knowing that their finishing position counts, and they know that hopefully that'll be the points that helps propel their team to getting the majority of the proceeds from it. So it really, I think, has given everybody that's coming a renewed pride in not only the fact that they're supporting the event, but at the same time that even if they don't have a shot to win, their finish does count and can make a big impact.
We'll open up to questions. Again, as a courtesy, state your name and affiliation. We got Reed, and then we got Bob.
Reed Spencer with Sporting News. Now that you've got the teams already picked, if you look them over, who's your favorite, and who gets Tony Kanaan?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know who gets on Kanaan's. He ended up with St. Jude, who Denny Hamlin's the captain. They also got Carl Edwards, Kenny Schrader, Eric Amarola, Ricky Carmichael, and Ray Evernham. So I don't know. I still think my team's probably the one to beat Team Sensi. So, we had probably one of the best races there 3 years ago, and I wasn't even a factor in it. So, between Jeff Gordon and Carl Edwards and Denny Hamlin, they put on one of the best races we've ever had there.
Yep.
Tony, Bob Matthews from WVP on WSPG here in the Poconos. Tony, as an owner for the 2nd year, is it tougher for you in terms of concentrating on your driving?
We're worried about the Prelude, bud. We're not worried about me being a car owner right now.
Okay.
That's all right with you.
That's fine.
Cool.
That's a great event, great charity. So
that's what we're trying to push here, man. I mean, we've got 5 days to make this thing happen, and we need everybody's help here. I mean, that's what people don't understand. It's 4 months of nonstop work to make this thing happen, and the PR staff and getting drivers organized, and the people at the track that are working hard, and Pam Miller and Artie Kempner from Fox that come and help us out. This is a big deal that we're putting on here, and a big push that we're trying to make.
Well, this has to be probably the best thing you do all year, right?
I'm sorry?
This probably has to be the best thing that you do all year in terms of...
Well, it's definitely probably the biggest fundraiser we do all year for sure. There's no doubt about that. And like I say, it's a year-round project, but it's 4 months leading up to the race that really are the hardest push, and this is not something that gets put together overnight. I mean, this is an event that takes thousands and thousands of man hours and from a lot of different groups to make it all happen on one day, and especially at a facility that you can't just bring a jet dryer around if it rains and dry it off. I mean, you have to have the weather cooperate with you to get it in. So it's a lot of pressure, and it's probably the biggest single thing that we do all year as far as fundraisers are concerned, and probably the one that we put the most effort into.
Claire B.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. Tony, can you talk about the spirit and energy of that event? It's almost, I was lucky enough to go to that once and really enjoyed it, because you get a Tony Kanaan there, and you get a Tony Stewart, and you just see all these people interacting, and I don't know if that happens or if anyone has time to have that happen anywhere else in the world. Really, in the world. I mean, if you think about it, how special that is. Can you talk about that energy?
Yeah, it's a really cool deal. I mean, we have tried every year, and after every event that we've done, we've went to the drivers and we went to different people and said, hey, how can we make this better? How can we make it more enjoyable for the guys that are coming and doing it? And we do a short media session beforehand, and once the drivers actually get down in the racetrack with the race cars, it's just the only media they do is during the telecast and during the broadcast of the show. But it's a really cool deal. I mean, you don't ever see drivers getting to hang out at the back of their trailers and have fun like we used to, and that's something that we do get to do at Eldora. I mean, we kind of control the pit area to where we don't. There's a lot of people down there, but there are a lot of racing people, and a lot of the crew members from the different guys' teams come and support their drivers. So a lot of the car owners bring their planes and help us out on that aspect, and help bring guys down. So it really is an atmosphere, like you say. I mean, it's something I think these guys really look forward to, and I know that I don't know how many guys this year went and tested, but I know last year Harvick tested about 5 times before he came, but it just shows that these guys that really care about what's going on. It's not that they're just going to show up and ride it around and at the end of the night go home. I mean, they really care about how they do there, and they have a lot of fun doing it. I know there's a group of us that are staying over after the race that we're just going to hang around and just have a good time, and that's something that we never really get to do.